Yo, what's good? So, went to see Halloween Kills over the weekend. When I first seen the trailer for it, I was thinking, I don't know, this looks kind of corny, but I'm a diehard. I'm a diehard Michael Myers fan. I'm a diehard Halloween fan. When a movie gets when a franchise gets to this point, when they're making like the 15th, 16th installment of the series, it's for the diehards. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Like it's like Fast and Furious. No disrespect to Paul Walker, but after like 5, I was done. Didn't watch 6, 7, F9, all of this other shit, Hobbs and Shaw. No, I was done. And a lot of people was telling me they were done. They were kind of over it. But spoiler alert for people who are tired of Jamie Lee Curtis playing this role, she does nothing in this movie. All right, she's in a hospital bed in ICU, basically the whole movie, hooked up to tubes and doped up off oxy. She does nothing. So you don't got to worry about that. And I'll get to that and why that was probably the part that I didn't like. But yeah, this is, Danny McBride, funny as hell, did Eastbound and Down. Danny McBride did this. They brought John Carpenter back again. This is the sequel from the remake that they did in 2018. It was supposed to come out last year, but we had this pandemic, and they're gonna start shooting. Like I say, this is a bridge movie, So it's a trilogy, kind of like Dark Knight, Batman Begins, all of that. This is a trilogy series. So this is the second one. They're gonna do the next one. They're gonna start shooting it in January, called Halloween Ends. So yeah, people are like, damn, they still doing? Yeah, they still doing this. And it starts off where it left off. You know what I mean? Now, some people, I got friends, I had a friend, little smart ass. Oh, I don't like these kind of movies because I pay attention and they bring too many people back. They brought the nurse back from the original and he killed her in H2O. That is true. But they brought back the same actor. She played a different role. So it's tricky with this horror movie stuff, man. Like, you have to act like certain movies didn't happen. So based off this storyline, it's like H2O and Resurrection never happened. Because in Resurrection, he killed Jamie Lee Curtis. He killed Laurie Strode. That didn't happen. So we're going to act like that didn't happen. But yeah, the Halloween Rob Zombie movie, they brought back the girl who was the niece in 4 and 5 and brought her back as the babysitter. She was a whole nother character. You know what I mean? They did it. Either way. But this one, like I say, the last movie was really good. They kicked up the gore and the violence. And I never seen them take Michael this to another level of violence like this. This was crazy. This is what a lot of Jason fans like Jason, and they prefer him over Michael because he's a little bit more physical, a little bit more brutal. Mike never had to do that, Mike just creep up on you because he could do it, because he weird, you know what I mean? He don't have to creep up on niggas, but he does. And he just simple stab in the heart, you dead. And just walk off. But this was brutal. Like, they had Mike doing some Mortal Kombat fatality shit. I mean, he comes out because they burned him up on fire on the last one. And you're like, how is he in this house? This house is burning down. He's in some like secluded part of the basement. Not a burn on him, and just starts fucking up shit. Starts killing all these firefighters left and right. Chopping up people's throats because the firefighters don't have nothing but axes, and he's taking these axes, he's breaking necks, he's doing all kind of shit. The guy had a chainsaw. Mike took the chainsaw, cut the guy's neck with it. It was crazy, and that's in the first 10 minutes. So they definitely upped the gore on this one. This was 21st century Michael Myers. This ain't the same, and the whole theme of the movie is that the more he kills, the more like aggressive he gets, the crazier he gets. So the whole movie just had some of the all-time best kill scenes in this franchise. Like, they did some brutal shit. Like when he killed the Allison girl, his niece, well, his great niece, I don't know, I guess, Laurie's granddaughter. And her poor boyfriend, he died in a dress. He died in a dress. He was wearing a dress that night at the costume party. I mean, Michael fucked him up, twisted his neck, something stupid, like a 180. It was crazy. But yeah, it was good. The corny parts, I didn't like this whole storyline with the whole town the whole town wants smoke with Mike, and you had a couple of people who had encounters with Michael Myers 40 years ago, now trying to get revenge or something. Like, this one guy claims he had an encounter with Mike back in the 78, and he wants to help, evil dies tonight. And then you had another guy, he was one of the kids that was being babysat by Laurie Strode. He wants to, take a part, and the whole town gets behind this. And then they brought the nurse back from the original movie, And she just, I guess she just wanted to see it happen too. So everybody's all riled up. The cops are trying to stop people. And I just thought it was a little cheesy. But y'all wait 40 years to want smoke, but whatever. But my favorite part of this, outside of the kill scenes and seeing Mike, was I liked how and I would tell anybody, even if you've seen it a million times, watch the original before you go see this. I did that. I watched the original the night before. They go back 2 or 3 scenes in this movie where they go to the 1978 Halloween, and with CGI and today's technology, that shit is incredible. I mean, that looked just like Mike from the original shape and everything, and they were able to bring back Donald Pleasence as Dr. Loomis. I was like, holy shit. Like he looked just like that. I was like, how did they do that? That felt and looked like 1978. They did that twice because the cop, he broke down what happened with him that night. So everybody's got like little stories of what they were doing in that particular night 40 years ago. Not just, Lord, because all we see in the whole movie is Michael's point of view and then Laurie's point of view once she's getting chased. Genius. We don't really know what anybody else was doing. And Dr. Loomis was out there trying to get busy. But yeah, they did that. That was cool. The town just went crazy. Everybody went to the hospital. So the whole movie is built up based off, like you think the original second one, where Laurie's at the hospital beat up after going to war, and she's got Mike is going to come into the hospital and fuck her up. And you think that's what's going to happen, but it doesn't. And that was the disappointing part to me. I was like, how the fuck, the whole movie, we thinking this is going to happen, and it never happens. And they're like, oh, we know what Mike's going to do. He's going to creep, he's going to kill, and then he's going to go home. And they had this LGBT couple. I think it was Big John, Little John. That was the names. That was the names. And he killed them and then played some soft music. They were staying in his current home. It was wild. Like, it was a good film, though. I liked it. You know what I mean? It was times where everybody, when they finally did circle Mike and they had him in a corner and there was like 12 people, they could have killed him. And it's like, shoot him in the head. And nobody wanted to try to shoot him. So Mike is still alive, and Mike stood standing. He was standing tall at the end of the movie, and the granddaughter or whatever, she now wants smoke. So they're gonna pretty much, Jamie's out of here. Laurie was done. Laurie Strode was in the hospital, cut all up. They did plastic surgery on her. She was doped up on oxy. She's done. You know what I mean? But now the granddaughter is like the new, the new heroine. She's like the new hero. So he's going to chase her around and they're going to do Halloween Ends. But I liked it. You know what I mean? I can't complain too much. Like I say, I just we didn't get one encounter with Michael and Laurie the whole movie. I'm like, how do we not get a count with Laurie and how? Like, how? Not one? But that's how they ended it. So, you know what I mean? The movie did $50 million at the box office. You know what I mean? For what it's worth. It's hot as fuck. Did an hour, did $50 million at the box office, but so it did some numbers, did some good numbers. Not a lot of people wasn't expecting that. Peacock Network and all that. I ain't had Peacock, so you know what I mean. We did it old school, man. We went to the movie theater, you know what I mean. Sticky floors, popcorn all over the shit. It was a mess, but it was dope. I give it out of 5 stars. I'm gonna give it 3.5. I'm gonna give it 3.5. You know what I mean? They kept it simple. Like, horror movies should never be 2 hours or longer. It's hard to get the audience suspension, to get that audience to be on edge for 2 hours. That's hard. You know what I mean? You just to keep their attention that long for 2 hours straight. It wasn't long. It wasn't, too complex. And a horror movie is the only movie that gets excused to not have everything. Don't have to be logical. It's already illogical. This nigga's still alive and he's like 80, still killing people. You know what I mean? It's like, take the logic out of it and just enjoy the fucking movie, man. So I dug it. Let me know what y'all think if y'all watched it.